If you needed a sign to stop being a good girl, this is your sign. You believe that you can change him. You won't change him. They will only gain respect for you if you actually leave. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the types of women who attract abusive men and honestly abusive people in general. So yeah, let's just get straight to it. Okay, so I have been thinking about this a lot and I have decided to compile a list of different characteristics because I personally found myself in abusive relationships in the past. So I kind of wanted to, you know, dive into this a little bit deeper and talk to you about specific personality traits that abusive people really like in their victims. Also, before I start talking about these traits, I just want to say that I'm not victim blaming here. I'm not saying that it's your fault for attracting certain kinds of people. That's not at all what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to say, though, is that you should be paying attention and you should be using the knowledge that I'm going to give you here as educational and basic as a cautionary tale because it is in fact true that people are not treated the same, and it always comes down to your behavior and what you're willing to accept. So listen, do with this information what you want, but I'm going to teach you anyway. So let's talk about this. Okay, so look, when I first sat down to write the list, I kind of started with a very typical things like, oh, abusive people like submissive women, maybe, or stuff like that, or like maybe timid ones, very modest ones. This could not be further from the truth. Maybe this is just a stereotype, a very old one, I guess, but um, at the end of the day, what it actually comes down to is abusive people really like, well, abusive men in this case, right? Really like women who are willing to put up with them. It doesn't really matter what your personality is, to be honest with you, because they don't really seem to care about that. I feel like it all comes down to what you're willing to take, what you're willing to accept. It's all about your boundaries. There's a reason I keep talking about boundaries. And it's all about you basically tolerating them in all their states. So, yes, abusive men like women who put up with their nagging, who can take their crazy, and women who, at the end of the day, do not leave. So, it's the women who will make excuses for these types of men, who will, try to be patient and understanding. Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. And they will forgive their cheating, they will make excuses, you know, honestly, what it really comes down to, it's insecure women who have really bad self-image, who have really bad self-worth, no self-worth at all, who don't have any self-respect, and women who don't think that they can do better than that. So they think that this is as good as it gets for them. So these men can almost like smell that, and they will take advantage of you if you are like this. Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of women have experiences like this. Also, again, I am talking about, men here, and I'm talking about qualities that you should be very aware of. But these types of dynamics, these types of people can be present in different, roles in our lives. This could be our friends, this could be our relatives, sometimes this could be family. Like this is actually serious. So you don't have the power to change anyone, but you have the power to change yourself and to kind of, grow and learn and heal, because that's what it, at the end of the day is, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. So yeah, don't hyper focus on those other people, focus on yourself, and make changes in yourself out of love, basically. One of the most important things is that the perfect victims are the good girls, the women who are raised to be very obedient, to be, the good girls, the girls who are patient, who are very understanding, like I said before, right? Who are doing everything by the book, they're doing everything right, and they cannot say no. You see the problem with that here, right? Like so many different issues can arise from that, and they do arise, they do arise, and these women do face the consequences of their upbringing in every sphere of their life, unfortunately, and it's never good. So you do have to shine the line to those um places and to those qualities of yourself, and make changes accordingly, because being a good girl never paid off to anybody. And the thing is that even, you know, you might think that you love this man so much that you're willing to put up with his behavior as long as he stays and as long as this is working out, and maybe you are, you believe that you can change him. You won't change him. That's number one. Let me just say it straight away. You do not have such power and such influence. You cannot change anybody as long as you're with them. These men will not listen to you as long as you're with them. That's very important. Again, the men that I'm talking about here, and people in general, right, are abusive, manipulative people. And if you are interested in, more like sort of red flags of people like this, go check out my previous videos. I made two parts where I talk about the major red flags, and these are basically the men that I'm talking about. What kind of women they like, what kind of women they choose. That's important, because these kinds of men, people, right, don't even like women like this. That's the most fascinating thing to me, actually. It was quite a revelation when I understood that, and like it really made sense. These men don't actually even like you. They do choose you because you are willing to put up with their crazy. They choosing you because you would not leave. You would tolerate all kinds of behaviors from them. And they can behave inadequately and do basically crazy things without any consequences. So you will cry, you will maybe complain, maybe you will attempt to break up with them, but you will never actually leave, because you are a good girl, because you're patient, because you believe it's going to get better, because you believe in the power of love and that you're going to change them. This love is completely out of the equation here. This, we're not talking about love. This is not love. Because again, these men are very, very insecure. They have very serious issues with self-esteem, and they do not have a good self-image. They do not have any self-worth. They do not have any self-respect, and that's important, because they also understand that if you choose them, then you are settling. They do, maybe subconsciously so, right? Maybe not so much consciously, but they do understand that if you are choosing them, you are settling. And I mean that in the worst way possible. They deep down don't believe that they deserve love. They don't believe that they deserve, respect and to be treated right. So therefore, if you do choose them, they will lash out at you, because deep down they will be thinking that they don't deserve love and that you are an unworthy person because you chose them and they are unworthy, right? These people are very likely to give you emotional roller coasters, like crazy, because they will be going from very, very, very deep state of self-loathing to crazy gratitude to you, because you are still with them, you are still, tolerating them. I'm not saying that they completely, hate you, though I'm not saying that they don't, but it is going to be an emotional ride, and it's not healthy. And the point I'm trying to make is that you will not be happy in a relationship like this, and we are trying to build healthy relationships here, and I'm teaching you the good things. So this is not it. This is not it. Another thing is that if you choose people like this, again, you're the good girl, right? You are raised to be doing everything right and doing everything by the book. You are, I mean, you are a good person, probably, right? You're definitely not a bad person. You're not going to harm anyone and, hurt anyone, right? But you will also believe that, again, like I said before, right, that you have the power to change this person and to kind of show them the right path and give them the love and kind of heal them through love. But here's the thing, because of all of the things that I said before, because of all of that low self-respect, and because they will subconsciously always think that you are not worthy because you chose them and they are unworthy, they will never listen to you. They will never actually change as long as you are staying in touch with them, as long as you are communicating with them. So even if you do leave them, but you keep in touch with them, you stay friends or whatever you choose to do, which is the most ridiculous thing that you can do, they will never change. They will never. No. What is going to change them? Listen, we're not interested in actually changing them, right? They will only gain respect for you if you actually leave and go no contact. That's the only way for them to gain any kind of respect for you. Not that that's the goal, because the goal for you is to get away from them and to kind of again shine the light to those dark corners of your soul that make you attract people like this and make you like people like this to begin with and want to, heal them, help them, and love them out of their traumas and misery. You might have an anxious attachment style, you might have abandonment wounds, which is why your wounds like match so perfectly and your traumas match, and that's why you get attracted to each other to begin with, right? But you might be afraid that they will leave or they will cheat or something like that, and they might cheat, right? But they most likely won't leave. And if they do leave, they might be coming back to you constantly because they do know that at the end of the day, other women might reject them and other women will reject them because some other women will have self respect and they will not want to deal with that because that's just not normal. They will respect those women more than you, however, because they do understand on a deeper level still, whether you like it or not, that those women have self respect and there are things that they will not put up with, and you will. So, what am I trying to say here? Please work on your self worth and your self image. I will talk about more kind of dating advice and how to, what parts of yourself you should be looking at in order to kind of get more in tune with yourself, in order to understand what you actually want and how to actually find a good partner in the next video. But here I specifically wanted to talk about these things and the types of women that, like a very, very prominent type that abusive men, abusive people in general prefer and choose. Because, right, like you always have to match. There has to be a match for you to work out. And by work out, I don't mean that you're happy. Not at all. You might be completely miserable. You might be codependent. That's most likely what's going to happen. But if you needed a sign to stop being a good girl, to stop putting up with other people's horrible behavior, to stop being so patient and understanding, to start centering yourself in your own life first, this is your sign. So please do that. Okay, so this is a shorter video, but anyways, you guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you like it. I really hope you found it informative and helpful because that was my goal. And please like this video and subscribe to my channel, you guys. I would really, really appreciate that. If you have any thoughts on the topic, please leave them in the comment section down below. If you have any questions in general, please, message me or leave them in the comments. And if you have any other video ideas, please let me know because I would really like to know. And I will see you in the next one.